what you dream. It's the way that you make those things reality. You see, that's the magic to me. M-I-N-O-T, now you see. Life ain't always just what you dream. It's the way that you make those things reality. You see, that's the magic of me.
Hey, Minot. Welcome again to the Magic District Hangout podcast. This is Christine Staley again.
Corey Long, how you doing, Minot?
Yeah, and so today we are actually talking with someone who is a local business owner on Main Street, like I am. And both of us have actually worked with her at different levels, but the cool thing is that Corey knows her in a different way than I know her. So I'm going to bring it over to you. You can introduce her.
I guess this is Melinda Howe.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yes, and she owns Ascend Wellness. And it's pretty dang cool to have Melinda on here. I've known Melinda since, if you will, high school. We, had, hung out with the circles of friends that we graduated from a
we all know how that goes.
Yeah, rather large high school. And, I guess really to take it off, Melinda, we're here to talk about, Ascend Wellness, how you basically built your compass, and where maybe if you could give us a background on how you got started into the medical field.
So I actually went into computer science when I first went into college. Me. Yeah.
Wow, that's a detour.
More science, math brained, I suppose. And then I had my first child and then decided I want to go to nursing. So, gosh, switched over then.
How is that? That is so opposite.
It is. I was in C++. I didn't like the programming part. So I was finding a different direction.
Did you have that desire to want to do that when you were in high school, or was that something you decided?
Actually, it was college. I wanted to go into journalism when I first graduated high school. I wanted to write. There isn't any of that around here. I would have had to leave Minot at the time. And then I was I'm just interested in computers. And I mean, it's bigger back in I graduated in 96.
Yeah.
Computers are a big deal, right? There wasn't the internet and things like that were kind of newer, right? By a few newer. So that wasn't interested. I actually really liked teaching people how to use it. That was more my thing. So when I had started doing programming, I was like, nah, not for me. And then had an Abby and decided to go into nursing and
you fell in love with that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I believe I talked to you about this before, but here in Minot, you actually were a nurse in the cardio. Right?
Yep. So when I graduated, I went to Minot State for my nursing, and then I graduated, worked at Trinity for 5 years. I was on their flight team, so I did critical.
Oh wow! So you were in
critical care flight.
The chop up.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! So one that flies all over Minot, right? Oh my! I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yep. For a year, and then when I was applying to anesthesia school, because it is more of a math, science brain. Anesthesia is definitely physics, organic chem, all of that stuff. So it kind of was like a natural progression, I think, the way that my brain was working.
Well, I really was computer
fascinated by how we can manipulate the physiology and help people and keep it stable and in the ICU. And then
that's a difficult position to have.
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah. No, it really is. That's life or death.
Yeah. So my dad was a scrub tech at Trinity, right up the road here.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, he would. I know a little bit about the background of that.
Yeah. Yep. So then I got into the Mayo. Well, actually, as a nursing student, I did the summer 3 program at Mayo Clinic as a nursing student. So I was there for 10 weeks, did a practicum.
Wow.
And then they kind of
So Mayo is the, if you will, the Harvard.
The premier. Yeah.
Of this region.
Yeah. So they did a lot of recruiting in that program, which was kind of
interesting.
So
you got.
We talked to their anesthesia program. They came and taught us about the offerings and things like that there. And then when it came time to apply, I applied there in a couple other places. But
okay, yeah.
So that's where I went to.
That's so for anesthesia. That's not too far either.
Yeah,
it's next state over.
Yeah,
right.
No, it's not too bad. We moved there, so that was just about 3 years of that, and then came back here. Worked at Trinity for 2 years. Then we decided to travel, so we moved up to Maine for 5 years. And
Maine, the opposite side of the country. I've been there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you like the winters? They're very different.
Very different. Very different. Wet, cold. Different cold than it's here.
Cold, I would
yes.
call it.
The summers also were not quite as warm. There's only a couple houses in Rockport that even had central air. So kind of missed our summers, to be honest. So worked out there for 5 years and then took a chief position down in Arizona.
Wow, what a drastic change too.
Yeah, as an independent anesthesia provider. So we moved down to Arizona because we wanted more warmth.
Yeah.
And then I had that contract. Had that contract for 3 years, and then during COVID, so that was really tough.
Yeah.
And then took a contract in California where I was 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And then during that time, my husband just decided he wanted to move back home and just asked kind of time. And
Sure.
so then I commuted for like a year and a half back in.
So you were still doing work down there, but you come back here, you see him, and then, okay, so you already established back here.
Yep. So 2 on, 2 off. I like fly there for 2 weeks and take call and do all that stuff. And then we come back and work on then I decide at some point I want to transition back here fully.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had always wanted to open a ketamine clinic. Pain is my background. That's what I knew and loved. And even in anesthesia, I was more of an opioid-free provider, meaning using magnesium and before going to opioids. Like I did full opioid-free anesthetics if I could, regional blocks.
Can I ask why? Really quick, like, why not to use opioids as your last choice?
Yeah, well, because they don't feel good, right? There's so many things we can do without using opioids. It makes people throw up, stops their gut up, they don't poop. Like there's so many things that make that risky. They're there for a reason. Clearly you need to have pain control or you don't heal either. So, I use ketamine as a big one that I like because that keeps things moving in the right direction. So ketamine and magnesium and some of those good hydration and the other things, if we could get away from opioids and anesthesia gas as much as we can, there's less side
Is there more
effects.
science coming to that, diverting away from opiates?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Even 10 years ago, we were doing enhanced recovery after surgery. So, leading up to 2 hours prior, I actually built that program in Maine for the department there. And then when we were in Arizona, I still kind of did those. And I believe Dakota Medical here is also doing opioid free, which is pretty cool. So as much as they can.
Well, again, where do you not have a drug problem, right? And people can get hooked on things after. That's the
other thing that I think about, And
I mean, they talk about fentanyl, but now, I mean, opioids forever.
Yeah.
Right.
And you want people moving after surgery. Like they do better, right? We used to get them super comfy and have them lay in bed for a few days. Well, we know better now. That's not how our body heals. We need to get them moving. So So then it just kind of translates into other health approaches.
It's interesting, I have to say, because I know I've had 2 children. So I remember I had 2 different doctors, obstetricians that I ended up having. The first one was really interesting. I mean, it was a very strict diet right after I had my kid, literally broccoli, rice, potatoes, no salt, anything.
So that's what they prescribed?
They gave that to me, and I literally had to get up and walk. But I'm like,
and no protein,
nothing. And the other one, I could eat anything I want. And I'm like, oh my God, what a difference! But the experiences are different. It's almost like so you're a healthcare practitioner, but you're also the way you see the body is different. And I think a lot of people don't understand that hospitals are great. Walk-ins are great, and what is that? The other one, the urgent care, and all those are great. But everyone sees things different. They have different protocols. So I almost feel like they're doing themselves a disservice unless they do some research before they decide to walk in, before they get sick.
Yes,
preemptively.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of what you more focus on, Melinda. Correct? Is the holistic. With all that.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even in anesthesia, you should be eating well. You should be having some protein before surgery. You should be hydrating and keeping your carbs up to 2 hours prior. So even in that, when you're going off to sleep, everyone in the room should be quiet. We should play quiet music. Only one voice should be heard as you're going off to sleep. There's so many little things that I think people don't realize that anesthesia providers, even just in that part of what I do, which I do something totally different at Ascend, but just little things.
But
huge differences.
The thing is that triggers are different. So both of my things, I'll give you an example because I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
When I went, I was supposed to have natural births. They didn't happen both times, but I had to have, C-sections. And I literally, the second time I had it, after I knew what I went through the first one, when I didn't know it was an emergency one.
Yeah.
I ended up bringing a set of things. I closed I already knew I was going in. I put the eye mask on the whole time. From the moment they took me from my room, I didn't want to see anything. I didn't want to see anything. I don't want to see lights. I didn't it's almost like I already needed to be in my own self just to deal with what I was going through because it wasn't a choice I wanted. But sometimes you have to know that and prepare yourself.
Yeah.
So those little things count.
So what they basically, if you will, if you can make the patient feel, secure.
And in control in some respect. Too.
Yeah.
To feel
in control of their situation and their environment.
Yeah. So and you're caring like that.
You bring up a good point with C-sections also. So a lot of times the propensity is to strap arms out when they go out. I didn't do that ever in a C-section.
Yeah.
Played quiet music. I even use essential oils and things like that in the OR. So We did in Maine. I was part of the program where we did. It was like a mom baby friendly initiative where they nursed in the OR. We had
Nice.
drapes. They delivered from the C-section. So like
Yeah.
there are a lot of facilities out there doing that, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty. And then it gives mom control. which
Yeah.
is
Well,
pretty
they
cool.
feel, they, especially if it's a decision they don't
Mhm.
want to make and
Yeah.
it's an emergency, they get freaked out.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, that doesn't help the baby if you're scared. So that always translates to the baby
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
And I watched the vital signs. So I watched for years doing C-sections where before they got baby in their arms, their vital signs and their blood pressure was all over the place. And as soon as mom got baby on her chest, it was like perfect lines. Like just everything settles out. So it's pretty.
yeah, that's amazing. So back now,
Okay.
you decided to come back to Minot now.
Yep.
Tell us that story.
Yeah. So I think after COVID, we just kind of were just missing home. It was pretty isolating during that time.
California's
in
tough in
general.
COVID, I heard. It was a very tough place to be.
It was.
So was New York and Miami.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think we
ooh.
just were like, yeah, let's go back home. My kids wanted to come back
Yeah.
home, and so it was just kind of like time. We're so happy to be back. Like,
Yeah,
this-
Right.
I think community wise, everywhere we've lived, it's just been like there's different things that you miss
Yeah.
Sure.
from that room. So we're definitely a boomerang family, and we won't be leaving. So we're happy
that's
to be back.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell us what did you need to do to reestablish yourself in the community as just a citizen, and then when did you decide to open up your business? How'd that work?
Yeah. We started to open pretty fast. Actually, we moved back I think in July, and I had my first patient November 15th.
Wow.
So we went pretty quick. But
Did
I
you know where you were
generally-
going to be, like where your location was? and
Yeah.
everything?
So I wanted to be downtown.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And in
That's
fact,
great.
The only spot I found was already being rented by somebody.
Oh.
And I said, well, hey, if it comes open, I'll wait. Just let me know if it comes open. And then 3 weeks later, that person because COVID was still kind of coming down. This was 21. So that particular business was struggling to get things open because of, and
Yeah.
a healthcare clinic is very different, right? We didn't get shut down. We had different.
Protocols. I know.
Yeah. So they were able to get out their lease, and then I took it over. And
Wow, that was like serendipitous then in a way.
yeah, so
Almost
we.
meant to be.
Right.
Yeah, we opened pretty quick. And then, like I would do virtual consults when I was on my downtime in California, taking the 2 weeks away. And
So you were like working dual roles. Seems like business owner.
I feel like we all do that, don't we?
Yeah, no, I know, but like different states too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, I didn't know that. And because I met you, I think the first time I went there was when I got a massage.
Yeah.
And I met you though briefly at an event
Mm-hmm.
at a was it a downtown event upstairs at this spot?
Yes, that was that was one of the
That was the
DTA
first time I
meetings.
think yep.
Yep. Yeah.
And that was like the annual meeting
Yep.
or something or
Yep.
get together. And I remember, and so that's and then I ended up going to your place, and then you guys moved, and I was like, what's going on? Are they closed? I didn't know. And then I became part of the board
Yep.
of the facade program, and I saw
Yep.
you guys,
Yep.
we're talking to them about the Renaissance Zone and stuff like that. So at some point, and
Yep.
then I think that's how I met you, really.
Yeah. Yeah, we so we opened in that space, and then, expanded pretty quick. Like I opened with ketamine therapy, which is chronic pain and mental health. It's very useful in suicidal ideation and some mental health conditions. But I also knew that wasn't the only thing. I couldn't just run a whole business on that. So that's where I had kind of done some extra training in IV nutrition, and then really got sucked into functional medicine. So
Were you kind of like the first person to kind of offer that here?
nope. There was another clinic that did it before me, not too long before me. So at that point, I started to do my functional medicine training, and then also decided to go back and get my FNP. So I was a CRNA, so I was already an anesthesia provider, and then went back to get dual certification as a.
Oh, and you went to school at the same time.
Yeah, and I did my functional medicine training. I am too.
Like
So,
seriously, okay. Talk about organization skills there.
I don't know.
That's you.
Maybe I don't know. It's kind of a blur now, but I mean, and then we bought
it.
And then we bought the building. So like I was doing all of that while we were in my own building.
Listen, I remember, I know I had a lot going on in my life, but I look at it's like you don't know what you're capable of until you're going through it, and you don't even think about stopping. You just keep going.
Yeah.
And then you look back, you're like, it's a blur. I'm like, I don't know how I did that. So I commend you because it's tough.
Yeah.
Especially during after COVID. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
It's always crazy.
Right.
You know?
So we got that space. it's kind of funny though, because when I moved back, I was having lunch with a friend over at Cookies for You, and I was like, "That's the building I want to buy." I still have the text message I sent to my friend Heidi. She was a realtor at the time, and I had sent her a year before we bought it.
Sure.
I was like, "That's the building I want to buy. Find out who owns that one." And then a year later, Christmas time, we're looking, and we were downtown, and another business owner downtown was like, I had already made an offer on a place on Broadway and it didn't feel right. They accepted the offer, but they came back with some contingencies. And she was like, "Oh, I'm really happier downtown. Like, you guys belong downtown." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, this isn't, I need to back out of the other offer." And it was a blizzard downtown. And so we Google mapped, because I knew the number was on the front of that building, and found the number, and then called Floyd at the time that evening. And I was like, "Will you sell me your building?" He's like, "Sure."
Oh my God, that's awesome. So Miranda, I like that you said it because that building spoke to you the way this building spoke to me. The moment I saw this building,
Yeah.
before I even had a business, that's how it was.
We knew it was the space.
Like I walked, I said, "Oh my God, that building."
Yeah.
That was just like, it stopped me. But I never thought in a million years I'd own it.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd have a business in it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I love that you say that because you have to go on your instinct and how you feel. I think that really is the trigger of what guides your real heart-to-heart decision.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you made the right decision now?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
We were
I do
supposed to be in
too.
that building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
for
so
sure.
too.
For sure.
I mean, look, I
Yeah.
probably I wouldn't be doing this today if I didn't
Yeah.
have this building.
And we still have more plans. It'll just take time.
Yeah.
It's a big
So the
building.
building we're talking about is the old
Yes.
headquarters, right?
Yes.
It was headquarters. Yeah.
Headquarters.
Which my sister went to school back in the 90s there. So I was actually a model there for a perm when I was like 11.
And you're talking about the hair. I actually had my hair
Yeah.
cut there and dyed there, like highlighted.
Yeah.
I love that. We actually just got a new one open though
Yes,
downtown, which is
yes,
fantastic.
yes.
We need one.
We totally needed
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell them what that building used to be, which is really what I thought
Yeah.
you
You
needed
used to
to.
talk about what that
It's
used
very
to be.
You guys, listen, everyone listening, you got to hear this. There's a lot of history downtown and it's crazy, but some of the things, if you learn about it, you'll be shocked. So, Corey, go ahead.
Right.
Allude to
They used to be the old Masonic Lodge in
Yes.
Minot. Yeah. And after this one, they moved up, but actually you go upstairs and it's pretty dang cool. And I've talked to some of the older gentlemen, like Ken Gillespie Dizzy, and a lot of them want to take a tour of it. But yeah, it's Melinda's taking me upstairs. They actually have a balcony up there. It has the old traditional ways of how a lodge is ran.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at
Yeah.
I haven't been seeing it yet.
It's
still.
beautiful.
I missed
When
that
you-
tour.
there's
Well, I missed
actually
that
a
tour the
real
day.
shop.
There's a big dome up there. It's got like 25-foot ceilings.
And it was Leif Schneider and
Yep.
myself.
Yes, we went up
yes.
together that
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So our intent is eventually to fix that space up. We're not going to tear it out.
Yeah.
But we do sometimes leave the lights on up there. So if you drive downtown, you can see the dome from the road, but we haven't done that in a while.
Cool. We got to go up there sometime.
So, I don't know if this is going to be a weird sign off thing, but I got to throw something out here since it's just chat and chill here.
Because there's history.
There is a history.
Yeah.
You know why there's bars in those windows?
I wasn't going to get in that history, but tell us why there's bars in those windows.
No, I've not heard that.
Oh, this is, about the Little Chicago.
Yeah, I know about that, but I don't know why there's bars on those
like
windows.
gambling and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I don't know, what do they call that? Ladies of the night?
Yeah. In our building?
Uh,
Who told you that story?
th-
I haven't heard that.
I'm not going to even tell who it was, but it's someone recently I just heard this from
Mhm.
who actually knows that specifically and has that fact. I will give you the person's name off camera.
Yeah.
I can't say their name.
Okay. Yeah, don't say their name.
But she did tell me that one lady was so upset with one of her suitors that she was going to tell the wife when she saw her, she was going to scream out the window. And someone pushed her out. That's why there's bars on her.
Well, if you wanted to stay away from drama, now we just.
What was her name?
I don't. Oh, the lady who told me that.
No, the lady that was
Oh, I don't know that answer, but you could ask her.
Okay, because there's
Do you?
we believe there's we believe there's a female ghost.
Well, we believe.
I don't know if that's
Are you serious? Did you believe
Absolutely.
this?
Well, we know
Do you hear?
Well,
there's
now
stuff
what
here.
you got to do is get the go. Well,
Yeah, the
the
paranormal investigators in Dakota.
actually the prior owners of that building did have it blessed by the priest at St. Leo.
Oh,
Was it one-
fantastic.
There was some
But I just thought that was odd because that building is known
No, it's
for.
crazy that you mentioned that there was possible female ghost.
And
not having
I'm
any-
telling you, I'm verifying it because that's
Yeah.
what that lady told me. She knows. Like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you off camera. I can't say it.
Okay.
Because
Well, so like we think we know the ghost name. We talk about it all the time. It's
Okay.
funny because anyways, there's kind of a lot of we should have like another podcast to talk about
just
what's
about
there.
the downtown, the tunnels and stuff. I didn't know anything about that. So that is so cool. If you guys want to hear about that, let us know.
The name of the ghost that we think is the name, because somebody said this name.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd that name come from? Like, why would you say that name? I've never heard that name. I Googled it because I was like, this has to be real. I Googled that name, and the person who popped up, there was an obit, and she worked at the Victory Cafe and in the cafe at the Big M building. I was like, it has to be her.
What year was this?
Well, she passed in
Big M building.
2013.
So this is
So she worked in the restaurant at the Big M building. I can't remember what it was called.
The 60s.
And then at the Victory, which was before Charlie's.
No, I'm talking about I don't know. I thought you're talking about the woman who actually got
Oh, no, I
out
don't
the
know
window.
about that story I've not heard.
Oh, no, that's what I'm
No, no,
talking
no.
about. I don't know. The lady who,
I don't believe this lady. I don't believe this lady got thrown out the window. She was a litter.
But the point is, that's why there's bars up there now. Because I was wondering, why would bars
I need
be
to
up
look
there?
into that because I have not heard that story, and I'm kind of surprised I haven't heard that story.
There's so many crazy stories about this town that
Yeah.
I find fascinating.
I mean, in the other building too. Like they say, there's ghosts
is
in there
Rick's.
with the Rick's Jewelry
The
building
Rick's
on the
Jewelry,
corner.
The Rick's Jewelry, but
Which the Down Under just opened.
Yes, the Down Under just opened in there, and they have amazing sushi. And
we are in wet. We
went
did
down
there.
Yeah, we went.
Setting up this podcast set.
I'm not a big sushi guy, but she
There's some fun to
Yes.
it. Guys who have to go, this is literally a sushi show. And the people who work there are fantastic. And they
Right.
treat you, it's a whole experience. It's like a vibe like New York. I
They're
swear.
lovely. It really
It
I
is
like how you
beautiful.
described it. If you're going to New York and
It's underground, it's tight, it's small. If
Yep.
you've been in the city,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
it's what it's like. If you go to the village, it's the same way.
Yeah.
But it's
it's an inner
but
city.
it has a whole feeling in it.
Yes.
And that's the experience I think people are willing to pay for now.
Mhm.
Is that
Right.
they go, even if it's a price a little higher and they get the the quality and they get the experience, they're like, man, that was worth it.
Yeah,
Right.
but that the seafood that they have, and they have got lobster.
Yes.
That.
Oh no,
It's actually really
no, I got really
really
creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to crowd. I don't like that face stuff. I'm sorry, guys, I really am. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. So you have that building, you have this building, and then when you opened this building, this was a huge building to fill. Did you have enough people to fill it when you first opened it with your
No, but
services?
we kind of had some plans at
Okay.
the time, but that wasn't the intent. Wasn't I mean
Yeah.
we're slowly kind of growing. I had some things kind of laid out how I wanted it. We actually ended up when we redid the main floor, there was 19 different rooms, so there was a few different
19
things.
rooms.
19. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot to fill.
Yeah, so it wasn't like
It's like you guys that
The main floor.
we've pretty much filled them up with
Just-
the tennis service. Yeah, just the main floor. So
But that's really fascinating to
Right.
take that many
Yeah.
rooms to fill with services. That means
yeah,
think about how many different things you can get under one roof. That's
Right.
kind of neat.
Mhm.
Not going a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
places.
and we can still go up.
Oh, I bet. I bet
definitely.
vertical. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that you offer so people aren't aware of that. Maybe they'd be quite surprised.
So
that
can I
could
come in
find-
and get my blood work done and I can bring it back to you, correct?
Yes.
And you can say this is what you're deficient of.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. So we do, I am a integrated provider. So I do all of it. I'm not opposed to traditional Western medicine where there's a place for all of it, but I just want to change your lifestyle first so that you have optimal conditions in your body, right? So yeah, you can see our providers and get labs. We have 2 primary care providers. I probably focus a little bit more on pain and maybe not necessarily so much primary care, but we also have Brianne. She's fantastic. And then we have another nurse practitioner starting this summer with us and one more in the fall.
I
So
think I saw a post on that recently.
yeah, so we'll have 4 by the end of the year. Hopefully, it seems like that's what's going to work out. And then we have a mental health NP, Kira, who works with us, and we also have Hannah. She has a space in Bismarck, and she comes here on Tuesdays.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So she's our other mental health NP that's just started with us. So she has available appointments. Yeah, and she comes every Tuesday here, and then does virtual in Bismarck also. And then we have Katie as our therapist, and she does brain spotting and EMDR. We have TMS for mental health, and then we have ketamine. Those are kind of 2 upper level non-medication options for mental health issues. And a lot of times we do people that come to us kind of see a little bit all of us.
Yeah.
We do refer kind of amongst ourselves because it's really a collaborative team, which has been really fun. We have the infusion lounge. We also do cash labs. So you don't actually have to see one of our providers to do labs. If you because our biggest thing that we want is for people to just be empowered.
Yeah.
It's you have control over your health. And I think a lot of people feel like they just need to be told what to do and given a med and just changing your gut health. It's pretty amazing. So we do have open, you can just come in and get labs.
Sure.
So that you can, if you want to do something with them, clearly you have to schedule an appointment with one of us. We're not responsible for those results.
Yeah.
But I think it's really, impressive to see people that are just
Let me ask you a
interested.
question. If somebody did not know how to find you, like they didn't know that you were the option to go to, when would they consider going to you before they go to traditional medicine? Not that we're against it, but like what would want to spur them to say, okay, I'm going to come here first just to see
Yeah.
if it's not that drastic of an issue? Because
Yeah.
clearly you're going to send them somewhere if it is.
Sure.
But what would, like, if someone who's never heard of any of this, they're scared, they don't know, but they're like, you know what, I don't know if I trust hospitals. I don't know if anything yet. And still,
Yeah.
what would you say to that person out there who's listening or watching? Like, what would they do? Like, would they just walk in and just say, hey,
Yeah, I mean, they could,
these
they
are my
can,
symptoms?
yeah, I mean, you know, you
Not
don't,
on death's door symptoms.
yeah, I mean, you don't really have to have symptoms.
If
Like,
they have
it-
something that feels like it's reoccurring.
Yeah, it could be even someone that's just like, hey, I just want to like kind of start to know a little bit more about my health. Like, you don't have to have
They
symptoms.
just curious.
Man,
Like, hey, what can I
absolutely.
do to take care of
Like,
myself? I'm
you
getting
know,
older maybe,
yeah,
or
yeah,
something
or
like that.
you know, sometimes we'll get athletes in, people that are training where they're just like, I really want to optimize things.
Yeah.
You know, we do the in-body analysis over there too, which shows skeletal muscle mass, and we do a weight loss kind of body composition program too, and we focus on skeletal muscle mass while they're losing. So, you know, high protein. So like just general health, you know,
Yeah.
we'll get like a wide range. We have people that have cancer and are terminal and are like wondering if there's something natural they can do to just make themselves feel better. Where sometimes just a Myers infusion can just help with their fatigue. So
What is that, a Myers infusion?
so Myers infusion, so Myers is just kind of like a general term for a mixture.
That was the guy that created it.
Yeah. So traditionally it has vitamin C or ascorbic acid, magnesium, some B12, calcium.
And magnesium is really important, you were saying.
Yes,
Magnesium.
yes, yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Majority of people are deficient on
And a
magnesium.
good B12. This is the
A-
good. This is
a good
B12.
yeah.
Taken up from an energy
Yeah,
drink.
yeah.
This is the good stuff.
Yeah,
B12.
yeah.
actually
We're not
helps-
talking about like the Lotus Energy or like
B12 helps out with
the
a lot of mental health.
Yeah.
or any of those pills people take at the gas station. They're like trying to pop, like, you know what I mean? Like people are like, oh, I got B12, I'll just grab it.
Yeah.
Quick.
Well, it's actually,
Yep.
B12 is actually very fascinating. There's 4 different forms of B12. There's cyanocobalamin, adenocobalamin, hydroxycobalamin,
Right.
methylcobalamin. So there's a kind of the 4 different forms. And genetically, people have mutations where they don't actually process some of those findings. Yeah. So like fascinating, even that little bit of a
The
piece.
classic, if you will, you listen to like maybe some
Yeah.
infomercials taking the fish oil to help break down.
Yeah.
a lot of
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do some genetic testing and things like that too. But like just how people respond to different forms can kind of tell you a lot.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so like some people that would have like a comped SNP, which is a different type of mutation, they can get anxious from methylcobalamin. You know, or like,
Interesting.
yeah. So,
Yep.
and then an adeno or hydroxycobalamin might be a better option.
Okay, so I have a question then. I'm thinking, like, say that somebody feels like they're tired and they say, oh, I want to take a, what is it, something
B12.
complex? B12?
Or B complex.
B complex, because I need energy. Like their friends telling them, I take it, I'm good.
Mhm.
But would it behoove them or like make it better for them to like say, hey, let me just see? Because now you're opening a door to say it might not affect them the way they're expecting.
Yeah,
It might
everybody's a
not
little
work.
different. Yeah, some
So
people don't break it down.
You hear that all the
really.
time, like on posts when people say, oh, it doesn't work for me. Well, that's a really enlightening thing you
Did
just
you take it the right way? Did you take
Or is it good for your body?
Yeah.
Yep. Or you're not able to convert it, right? Yes.
So it goes through you.
We hear a lot about MTHFR mutation. You know, that's a big one out there. About 60% of the population have that, and they don't break down B12 well. And they usually respond to methylcobalamin better. But then there's other ones that there's just a lot of genetic things that can get in the way also.
It could also be iron too. So like
Can be
people don't know
fatigue.
that when you have iron low, because I have low iron, there's certain things that will like drop it from like absorbing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But you know, it's hard like, to get over not wanting to drink coffee or something like
Right.
that. Like there's just
Yeah.
random things, and it's you know, you have to really change some habits too. So isn't that like part of what
Yeah.
this is too? Not just like, oh, you're going to be a fix-it pill or a fix-it
Yeah,
infusion.
absolutely. In fact, I also do a lot with like polypharmacy or supplement fatigue.
Oh, okay.
Because you can get that too. You know, everyone wants to take all these supplements and then they read and they come in and they've taken 20 of them. Like that's not necessary either in a lot of cases. So, or like if I do like some gut health work, you know, if we do some stool testing and,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes,
everything.
yeah, sometimes I'll put them on a handful of things for 2 or 3 months and then I take them away because like nobody wants to be on 20 different supplements every day. That's not like appropriate either.
I had to take something like that recently as a protocol last year just because I had a thyroid issue that had to drop down, but I had to take certain things just to get it in check.
Get better.
And it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My poor husband. I was like, you open all the pills. I'm like, I'll take them.
Yeah.
And I would and I don't even know if I took them at the right order, but I would just dump them in my throat and then chug it with like water and then chug my coffee, black coffee after it.
Yeah.
But I did notice after I did it, I think because of the consistency, but I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I still have half them on my counter.
Yeah.
I have to get checked again, which actually it's funny. My old doctor told me to come see you.
Oh.
And I will probably be coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how you don't know if you need to keep maintaining that. So that's why it's always nice to check up later.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of times, like I generally will see people every 3 to 4 months. Like I hold on pretty tight to the people that I see because I don't want them to just get given something and then take it for a year and come back and see me. So I generally see you routinely every 3 to 4 months, depending on what we're doing, until you feel good. And then I've got you pared down on maybe 3 supplements.
But supplements are different than like medication.
And we do work on deprescribing. Our mental health providers also work on deprescribing as much as we can. Sometimes you need to be on it, and that's okay too.
And that's okay too. Yeah,
absolutely.
But I like that. You brought all this up because again, some people feel like if they go one, and that's actually the reason why I had her check it because they were going to prescribe me a regular doctor, which is how I found out I had this issue.
Yeah,
want to put me on a pill that I have to just take and I can't get off of it. And I said, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I know better because I had some background in some medical. I worked in television with some medical stuff.
Yeah.
So when I had the opportunity to talk to doctors, they would totally share, you need to be a partner in your own healthcare. And that was the only thing they harped on me about. Yeah, that's key. And that's what I think is valid.
Because they think, well, I go to the doctor and they're going to fix. Well, no, they prescribe you something. And that's what Melinda, I meant talking to you about, well, when I had my incident, I had a heart attack in November. And, that's the number one thing and that's how I've lost some weight. But it takes the individual to actually.
Yeah. It's a mindset too, saying I want to work towards something to get better as best as you can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that the doctors would tell me. The men, nothing against you, Corey.
No, well,
they would just
men's mental health month, by the way. June.
No,
Yes,
but men in general would not want to see a doctor. They don't go.
Right.
And they don't want, it's not that they're scared. They just don't think it's important until something happens. So
happens.
they would tell me most of the people who wouldn't take care of their health, the majority of them were the men. And I was like, okay, so I always worry about the men most of the time because they don't care for themselves as much.
Yeah.
In that way, in the sense.
It's interesting too, in my experience, maybe I kind of thought that too, but like I would say I was probably 50-50. I get
now it's 50-50.
Men that come in that are more wanting a natural approach than wanting medication. I would say it's almost more common what I see.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Which is
maybe the tables are turning.
Anecdotal. I mean, that's what I see in my practice, I guess. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. And Corey, did you see her as a patient?
No, but I talked to her. I gave her a phone call kind of in that week.
Well, you guys are friends. You guys went to school together. I know.
But, and just knowing her background. So I just like having that, when something happens, that's usually when, you make the phone calls or whatever. And get in contact with people that that are in that field and just be what it is. It's true exactly what you guys to recap on is it isn't just the doctor that you go see, but it's also what can you do to help yourself out.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to turn it back to you because I know we've been talking a lot about medicine and just not whatever. But so people in Minot, if they are interested in like learning about taking charge of their own healthcare in some respect, like just even a first step, so they don't feel like they don't have control because you don't want to exacerbate. Exacerbate. I can't even say it, guys.
You don't want to like on the other.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that you don't want something to go further and get worse if you do have certain symptoms that you're feeling aren't similar to how you used to live, your quality of living.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend? Just coming in for a checkup, talk to you.
Yeah.
Even if they go to like a medical place, it doesn't matter where they go.
Yeah.
What would you recommend?
Just schedule an appointment.
Okay.
You can come in and just get information.
Okay.
It's like we don't have like a, I don't have like a avenue for like a free consultation or anything like that I have. But like, I think even if you were going to come in and just wanted to figure out how to kind of optimize, I would say almost 100% of the time we start with gut work. So like you could do just a round of, good probiotics and an elimination diet, like very simply. And it's pretty powerful. Honestly, most people go through it and they're like, oh my gosh, I felt so much better by week 2 or 3 that like, that's enough to be like, okay, I do have some control over my health and what I'm putting in my body.
Yeah,
so that's a nice, easy way. I mean, even if people want to just stop in and get a little bit of a tour to see, and there's other clinics.
And guys, if you've never been to her place, you need to go. It literally should be like on like, what is it? Architectural Digest magazine. The place is gorgeous. It's like someone's like home. I mean, wallpaper, sconces.
The woodwork that's
Yeah,
out there.
the woodwork is that woodwork.
There's a whole.
I'm so glad you
Yeah.
kept a lot of that woodwork.
That's all original to the
It-
building,
I
except for
know.
in the rooms because we didn't have quite enough, and so we did have to piece a little bit from upstairs just to get the main hallways done. But
The old phone booth.
the phone booth, yeah, Gene from the Antique Ball knows what I like, and
Yep.
he showed me. Yeah, so he talks me into a couple things. But
I was
it's fun.
I was gonna say, tell me really quick if people don't have funding to pay with traditional insurance, or if they do have insurance,
Mhm,
what do you recommend? Is there like anything out there they can look at?
Yeah, so we so cash pay labs, sometimes
Uh-huh.
that's definitely cheaper than traditional insurance-based lab in general, but we do take Blue Cross and Sanford.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How would they go about doing that? Do they
Yeah.
call them first as a?
No,
as
they
a
just have scheduled an appointment. We're normal in-network providers.
Oh,
Yep,
great.
Yep.
Okay.
So they can schedule that anytime. Our mental health NP and our therapists also do take Medicaid and expansion. So
Wow.
they do.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And Hannah, the one that's from Bismarck that travels and commutes here, she takes Blue Cross and Sanford. So insurance covers.
You have everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have also, what is that called? That where you can get the credit card? Maybe you can give them.
Yeah, we use the Advanced Care card.
Advanced Care, okay.
Yeah, we don't have any affiliation with them. It's really like a credit card, but they do cover. The reason why we use them specifically is they cover ketamine. There's not like extra cost.
Sure.
So, and then they also do, depending on like it's been a while actually since I looked at that program, but like they'll do 0% interest for like up to 12 months.
That's fantastic.
And then they help you with your payouts. Yeah. So like they really do. That's why we chose that card specifically to recommend, because it seems like they're in it for the right reason, and there's not like,
I know.
Yeah. So at the end of 12 months, if you have some left, they don't like back interest.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just you pay interest on what's remaining. So like
Sure.
they have some pretty good
I love
policies. But yeah, there's ways around it, and we have.
So we have options.
Yeah, definitely have some options.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I learned a lot today because again, my
Mhm.
person's not doing anymore, and I need to get checked soon. So
And we do have the regular clinic space with all of the things there. We have red light, we have infrared sauna, we have salt therapy, we have a vibroacoustic bed, we have a tea shop over there, but we also have the yoga studio. So like that's something I like to point out too. Fit Studio. We just started. We got a new instructor that does some Kundalini yoga. Like so, the reason why we opened that was because I prescribe meditation quite often and just moving your body.
Yes.
There's no mirrors in that space for a reason,
fantastic.
because you should be feeling the inside of your body.
you're
not
not
looking
how you look.
Yeah,
how
so,
you feel.
But we also have some fun bar classes over there. And
You're quite expansive now. Like this is crazy. And you've been open how long now?
it'll be 5 years in November.
Wow,
Mhm.
congrats. I can't believe that. 5 years.
Yeah.
And that says a lot because I always say the first few years are tough. 5 years is a different business model than the next 10.
Oh yeah,
Because I'm on 10 now, and it's a whole different ball game now.
different.
So it's crazy, but that says a lot. And you're a woman-owned business, so congrats.
Thank you.
We have quite a few of those downtown, which I think is
it's pretty cool.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So, okay, guys, I know we have a lot we've talked about, but if you have any questions, we're thinking about bringing her back,
Yeah,
like some health
so
questions.
Because I got questions about ketamine. I got questions about the other rooms, the red lights, all that. And I think we need to have Melinda back.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Yeah.
you're not going to get everything like completely answered. I don't
Right.
expect it to, but I think if that sounds cool, if y'all want to start a conversation when we post this, please add some comments below, and we will make sure we get them to her, and we'll probably have her back. I mean, we might even have her as like a what do you call it, Corey?
A Melinda Minutes.
A Melinda minute, like
Yeah.
everyone needs a Melinda minute in their life, right?
Why not?
Yes. Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Have a Melinda minute.
A Melinda minute. Why not? Have all kinds of fun facts.
Is there anything we didn't ask you that you want us to know or let Minot know? Because this was a great conversation.
We can actually, I mean, if there isn't, by all means, we want to have you back. To
Yeah.
this.
For next time, Shep, what do you say?
See you next time.
Yeah.
Oh, from
I would love that.
yes.
I'll bring you some tea.
Yes. Well, listen, I thank you so much for sharing your story. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I know you through the business community, and I think I worked with you separately.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear your whole story before.
Yeah.
So I don't think we ever had time. We're so busy. So
We're so
this was
busy.
nice.
Yeah.
Let's just chat and show and
Yes.
talk
Yeah.
about it. and
Maybe
have
I can come
connection.
back on one time and question you guys. And you can tell me your story.
That'd be fantastic. Hey.
Reverse.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah. I think. Look,
We kind of did it the first episode. But
Yeah, it did. But again, it was such a.
if you want to go down the rabbit hole, I can get,
Yeah.
This guy's impressive, though.
Yeah.
You know, he's done quite a bit. I was
Yeah.
quite surprised when I heard some of his accolades, and I'm like, oh, really? Didn't know that about you. Didn't know that
Well,
about.
thank you. And you also have the resume too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
whatever. That
And I don't try to build the resume, but
No. Just trying to help everyone out.
I know.
And by the way, guys, one more thing. If you've been watching us for a while, you'll notice it's quite dim in here. This is the latest interview we've ever done. It's more like, I don't know, we're looking at about 8 o'clock right now in June.
In June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not even at the solstice yet. I'm just giving you a heads up. So it's before then. But yeah. So if it's a little dark, we didn't light it well, but we look really nice and good in this.
We look
lighting.
great. We all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in again. If you're listening, please don't forget. This is sponsored by American Express and the Shop Small grants, as well as Main Street America. And I want to say thank you to them and everyone who helped make this happen, including Corey Long, my co-host. And thank you to Downtown Minot and Minot, the City Minot, and everyone else who has helped us, including Adam, our guy right now. And
our guy, he's on the
and
phone.
everyone. And I don't know how many episodes this is in yet, but we have quite a few already in the can that we have already done. And I mean,
3 today.
yeah.
We put 3 in the can.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like, I'm just thinking, like, we're not even at 10 yet, but I think
not.
we're almost there. Like, it's getting easier and better, but,
It is.
you know,
Yeah.
if there's things that we could talk about in the future, guys, let us know. I know we're not always sharing and posting. We're getting there.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah, if you have any questions and you want to reach out to Melinda, we're going to put all her stuff on the links on the bottom of this interview. And then, yeah, you just guys reach out and then just have a good summer, Minot.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Thanks.
You see, that's the magic to me. M-I-N-O-T, now you see. Life ain't always just what you dream. It's the way that you make those things reality.